really, people. So today I'm going to talk about intuition in the movies again. Last time, I think the last one we talked about intuition in the movie Dune. Today I want to talk about intuition in the movie Avengers Infinity War. There is a mild spoiler. So, I mean, I'm assuming you've already seen the movie, but if not, if you want to go and see it, maybe go and watch it before you listen to this video. But anyway, so at one point in that movie, we see Doctor Strange. He's looking through all the different universes to find that particular universe in which they get the future, well, basically where they, win the Infinity War, if you like. And he finds that universe, and then he understands what needs to be done in order to get that outcome. And that's a really interesting sort of intuitive moment, because that is when you understand how to navigate around the hologram, which is what fractology teaches us how to do. We understand kind of we know how to do a Doctor Strange, because in the fractal we actually get to really experience how all time is now, in the sense that there are all these different possible futures. You can think of them as being in all these different parallel universes. And we can, in a way, choose the future that we want. And it's not as if we're not creating it out of nothing, because it's already there in the hologram. So it's already there, by connecting through time. Okay, Doctor Strange uses the time stone to do it, but we use the fractal. So how we manifest that particular future, though, we don't do it in the way Doctor Strange did, by just, telling people what to do or whatever. How we do that in fractology, interestingly, it's a similar thing as what they talk about in quantum mechanics, but I'll come back to that. So when you're looking at all your possible futures, of course, what you're looking for is that future that you actually want in life. You're looking for the future that really enables you to be who you truly are, and to express yourself fully, and to have an abundant, joyful, love-filled life. So once you've found that, how we then start to work with it, with our intuition, is that particular life, or if you prefer, the version of who we will be in that life versus our other lives, we will actually be carrying a slightly different resonance, slightly different energy than we would if we had a different kind of future. So by learning, by focusing on that future, and by very consciously practicing holding that energy, holding that particular, the energy of that future that we've chosen, we create like a resonant loop from this present moment to that future. And so this is one of the most effective ways to manifest the future that you want. You do it from the future that you want by focusing on that future that you want through the fractal, through the hologram, or, through the time stone. And then you hold that energy. And then in that way, you're manifesting the future from the future rather than from this present time. And that's a much more efficient way of doing it. And I mentioned quantum mechanics. Interestingly, this is actually how they talk about it in quantum mechanics. So I'm gonna get a little physics here, but essentially, in quantum mechanics, they talk about all of these future probabilistic futures, in other words, like there's all of these different possible futures. I mean, they're talking about quantum particles, but same thing. Although don't say that to a physicist, because then you'll get into a whole argument about whether that actually translates into the non-quantum world. But the principle remains in quantum mechanics that, you know, there's this vibration of a particle, and in the future quantum future, like what happens to this particular subatomic particle, there's all these different probable futures, which, you know, in quantum mechanics they're all already existing, but they all have different probabilities of actually being realized. And then what actually happens is the quantum particle today matches the resonance of one of those futures, and that creates this resonant feedback loop, and that draws the present to that future and that future to the present, and that is how that particular quantum future is realized. So yeah, it's all the same stuff, but that from an intuitive point of view, that is what Doctor Strange is doing in Infinity War. He's he's using the time stone, but he's going through all the different possible futures, finding the future that is actually the one, obviously, that he wants to manifest, and then holding that energy, and then being willing to surrender to however that unfolds. And if you want to know how that unfolds, you'll have to go and watch Infinity War and Endgame and stuff. Anyway, so there you are. There's what the movie Avengers Infinity War can teach us about intuition, and in this case about intuition and manifestation. So that's pretty cool. All right, so if you want to go and rewatch the movie, I entirely understand that, because, you know, that was a fun movie. So go and do that. Keep working on manifesting that brilliant future for yourself. And of course, as always, remember that you're brilliant.